Welcome back to the Bet As We Go podcast. Today we're actually recording on a day before because we have lives and we decided to record the day before. Anyways, I am one of the co-hosts, Jeremy Pauly,
And I'm Wesley Jude.
and we're just gonna hop right into it. All right. Right now it is 95 degrees outside. It is hot as balls.
It is really hot.
I decided to wear long black jeans because I'm doing the laundry today.
You are wearing long black jeans.
Kind of just wrong decision right there.
Yeah, I decided to wear shorts today. I haven't worn shorts probably a year. Like I haven't touched shorts. Like this is rare. I have one pair of nice shorts. Everything else is basketball shorts. And it's kind of like it's like my leisure kind
As
of.
long as you have one, it'll be fine.
Exactly. But yeah, it's really hot today. 95 degrees. I didn't.
According to my Apple Watch, it's 95 degrees.
Yeah, it feels like 95 degrees outside. It's really hot. And today I decided to go fishing. So I was sweating the whole time. But enough, because we're not weathermen. We're talking about what's going on. So Jeremy, you want to introduce the first topic today?
The whole theme of this podcast is probably around help.
Help?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Like,
Because we all need help at some point of our lives, whether it's professionally or personally. We all need some type of help.
yeah.
So that's what I kind of So, hopping into it, what is your views on help?
My views on help?
Yeah, professionally and personally.
Like my views on like myself, or the views on just help in general?
Just help in general.
Help in general. I think help is a really good thing if people can get the right sources. I feel like a lot of people have too big of an ego to get help. Now, 9 times out of 10, that sets them up for failure. You have people who we like to call know-it-alls, who think that they know everything, and they end up trying to ignore the people's processes that have been through a similar situation. And end up repeating the situation that they could have avoided if they just would accept the help that someone was giving. But there's also bad help. Like people can give the wrong advice and set people up for failure, whether it's meant to set them up for failure or not. It depends on the type of person. If the person's evil, I mean, probably going to set you up for failure on purpose just to watch you and laugh at you. But I mean, if you have a genuine person in your life that's trying to offer you help, I feel like it's a good thing. Even if it might not be good advice, I think you should take it with a grain of salt and just apply what they said could apply to your life. Not everything is, set in stone. Do this, do that. You got to do your own personal findings in that area. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like help is a great thing, and I feel like people should be more willing to offer help instead of trying to hide everything in. I think everyone's kind of afraid of like people knowing their secrets and stuff like that. But I mean, you could tell somebody something doesn't mean that they're going to do that thing. What are your views on that?
Probably the same thing as you said.
I mean, it might.
I don't know. Okay, so the way I view help is like, okay, when I was like maybe in high school or something like that, I always viewed help. It was like, oh, that's like a last resort thing. Because I always felt like I have to do it myself. I don't know why I was just been raised like you have to do this yourself.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people are, I feel like.
Yeah. And then just like you ask for help, that means like means like you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like you don't know what you're doing, and then it was like, oh, you're just gonna get like a free pass to your destination or whatever. That's how I always felt when I was growing up. Until like now, it's just like okay. Until like now, I'm kind of older, a little wiser, 1% wiser.
Yeah. Can you speak on like more of your thought process of like people like being help as like a last resort? Can you like explain that a little bit more? I think that can really touch some of our viewers and help them realize that like help's not a bad thing.
Well, when I thought of it as a last resort, well, for me, when I was in high school, I always wanted to do everything myself. That's the way I always been.
Why? Like, what was going through your head?
When I was like, I felt like I was like, okay, I gotta do this. Like, I'm gonna do it my way. I don't need no help. Cause like, it felt like if I do it myself, that means I'm like, I feel like I felt my ego would probably like feel some type of way.
Yeah, you felt like you weren't like if you
Like,
got
I was
help.
on top of the world. Like I
Right.
did this myself.
Yeah.
I got no one.
That's fair. So like if you did get help, then you feel like a loser, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. Then and it doesn't really help when people are just like, oh, you're you were born by yourself and you're gonna die alone too, by yourself too. If you think of it that way too.
I mean, yeah, I can see it that way. I just look at it as like, yeah, you die. I mean, you're born by yourself, you die by yourself. I mean, it's very morbid, but at the same time, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. That's why, for me, it's always been easy to accept help from people, because it's like, I'm going to my deathbed with all my knowledge, and I could relay my knowledge to other people from other people to try to keep that knowledge ahead and cycling inside of the next generation or whatnot.
That's true.
I mean, one thing I like helping people a lot. This is something I struggle with is like, I will give somebody who is coming to me for help, advice, and like they either want to get super mad at me and cause an argument, and it's just like, hey man or woman, you came to me looking for help, and I'm just giving you my genuine feedback back on top of the situation in which you're in. I mean, you can use it, you don't have to, but like, I don't want to cause an argument. And most of the time it causes an argument. I feel like people just feel like I'm looking down on them or something, which is not the case at all. Like, I don't care if, XYZ happens. I just want to make sure that you're going to be okay if it does. I'm trying to make you aware of the situation before it happens. And I think most people just find that offensive, I think.
I think it's, probably.
Yeah, you think it's like offensive?
Yeah, like, oh, you gotta offer me help? I don't need no help. I think they view it as the ego thing.
It's too much of an ego
Too much
thing.
of the ego.
So are you like, how are you now? Like, how are you feeling now?
I mean, part of me, I'm still kind of the same way. Like, I want to do things myself, but like, if someone's gonna offer me like some help, like, or like some advice, and like help advice, then yeah, I'm gonna take it and apply it to where I need to apply it.
So would you say like 100% being as anyone can help you and you're open to like being helped, and 0% is like nothing? What percentage are you at in that category?
When all people are willing to offer me help.
Yeah, like are you? Because you said like you still want to do it by yourself, which I mean I understand. It's just like if someone offers you help, how likely are you to actually implement some of the things they're saying to you? Like how likely, as a percentage?
70, I want to do myself. 30%, I'll get some help.
So you're about 30% better than where you're from high school.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like 60, 40, 70, 30 around that range.
Okay. And how did you come about opening up to the idea of, people helping you and stuff? Like, where did it start? Like, was it a self-help book? Was it, you actually just went ahead and gave it a chance to see if something did help, and it did? Like, what happened there?
I think part of it was a self-help book, and as well as me going through experiences.
Okay.
I think I was at work one day, and I felt like I was going in like a circle, whatever, like a cul-de-sac, and everything kept repeating.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get out of this chance. And then I started reading like self-help books, started watching YouTube channels, and then I was like, okay, just start doing this. And then the book was like, all right, start journaling your thoughts. And that's what I started doing. And then I was like, okay, this is actually helping me out real fast. And I was like, started talking to other people. I was like, hey, how do you feel about this? They're like, oh, I've been through that too. And then like, here's what I've done. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but here's what I've done. If you want, we can come back to this maybe next week or so, next time I see you, and we could talk about it if you really want to.
Oh yeah, that's usually how help works. Like once you become aware, like you're going through this loop in life where it's just constantly repeating.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm fed up with it. It really takes that right there for someone to go, I'm ready to change. And luckily for you, you were able to, and you also had people around you who are going to try to help you with that. I think the person on the other end, on the quote unquote preaching end, needs to come across like not offensive or not hostile. Yeah, not know-it-all-ish. So like they need to like try to. I mean, obviously it's good if that person knows you, because then like for me, if people know me, they know I can take hard shit. Like if you tell me that I'm being stupid and I'm just being dumb, I'm not gonna take that to heart. I'll flip that and I'll be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? But for some people, saying like you come up to you and you're fucking dumb, it's like, okay, you fucking dick, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like it's not good. So I think the person knowing you, if they're close to you and they want to help, I think that's better to introduce you to like allowing people to help than if it was like a stranger, because a lot of mixed signals can be thrown in there. So that's good that you got help through a peer that knew you, and you were able to open up more. And now hopefully on this journey of you trying to figure out what direction you want to go into, you'll finally hit that 95% of being able to receive information and produce it into the world back from whoever gave you the information. It just takes a while in a process, especially coming from someone who had a big ego. And it's good that you admit that and you're aware of that, because that's the first step to change. Awareness is definitely the first step. And I mean, yeah, so that's really good. But how do you feel since you did figure out that you were just going in a cul-de-sac or a loop?
Well, I think it felt. I was going to serve. I felt. Dang, it's gonna be hard to explain because I'm just rambling right now.
No, that's fine. That's what a podcast is.
I'm just like,
a podcast is just people watching us.
I felt kind of down on myself. Felt like I was doing the same thing repetitive. I felt like I was kind of going nowhere. And then I think one book I read by Seth Godin called The Dip.
Okay, I've heard of that. I haven't read it.
It's very.
You want to explain it like a little bit, just like a quick summary?
Summary was like, okay, there's two forms. So remember, if like you start something like a project, there's always that like the little down phase. Like you're so good, you're doing everything, and next thing you know, you reach a dip, like this little bottom portion, and like you stop doing it, less motivated. Now there's two versions. There's a dip and there's a cul-de-sac, like I mentioned before. The cul-de-sac means like, what is a cul-de-sac? It's like a very big ass circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a circle. It never ends. That's how I was feeling. A dip is like, okay, there's going to be a certain outcome, and then you're going to proceed with your life. So all I got to do is get past the dip, and then you reach some type of level, whatever.
Yeah. You
So
get out of the dip. You
yeah.
go back up.
Go back up, and then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is just trying to find whether you're in a dip stage or in a cul-de-sac stage.
How do you figure that out? They give you any tips?
I mean, it gave me tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says,
Do you recommend it for people to read? Is like a really good read? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where, like, if we're, like, repeating patterns and everything like that in the same spot, then, yeah, that's a big indicator.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely should check that one out, because, I mean, I don't think I go into a cul-de-sac. I mean, I definitely have when I worked at Krispy Kreme. It was just like a constant, every day wake up, do this, go home, play video games, wake up, do this. Like, it's going around in a circle. Like, I can see that now, but back then I wouldn't be able to see that. It was, like, normal for me. But now I just have dips. I get super motivated about a project, and I'll just crash and I don't want to do anything, and then I'll pick back up. It's a constant motion. I feel like that's a normal thing to happen. Some people's dips are more significant than others. I feel like you look at Elon Musk, dude. That dude has dips, but it's like for like what, 2 minutes?
Well, we don't know what that man goes through. It could be a massive dip.
Yeah, it could be a massive
something
dip.
up like Tony Stark.
Yeah. But yeah, so continue explaining.
About the book?
No.
Oh.
What we were talking about before.
What were we talking about before?
I don't even remember. That's what it is. But no, yeah. So I think help, could be definitely a good thing to start taking in. Now to lead on to the next topic of self-help, I feel like this help is different. It's kind of similar on the sense of getting knowledge from somebody else, but it's different because you're now the seeker. You're not the one who's just like, oh man, I'm let's say depressed, and you start just talking about your emotions to somebody, and then that person feels like they have to or want to give you some advice. You're not really searching, you're kind of just talking. But self-help is more like, I'm out there seeking information now to try to better myself. So now you're doing the work to try to improve your lifestyle.
That's true. That is true. I also believe your experiences count as well.
Your experiences?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Your personal experiences count.
Mm-hmm.
They could have a very cause on your view on the world.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think one thing that changes a lot of kids is if their parents get divorced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you could find someone who can relate on you at that level and kind of just talk, to another person who's been through the same thing, I think that could help a lot more too. But I feel like that also comes with self help because you're also looking for somebody who you can talk to, and if that person can relay how they feel, maybe you can start piecing together. Because I have a friend who's like that, and he's been struggling about like just the thoughts of it. So I feel like if he had somebody who went through the same situation, it would help him figure out who he is as a person. But yeah, I feel like mirrored experiences definitely help. But if your situation is obscure and not a lot of people have that, I feel like the next step to that is just trying to figure out more about your brain and how it works, so you can improve yourself.
Now, is it okay to ask for that during the social media era, or do you think that's a no-brainer?
You mean like post it? I mean, my view on social media is very different from everybody else's.
Go for it.
I don't have social media. I mean, I do.
Well, now everyone has social media, but the people who constantly posting stuff.
Well, I don't even have the apps on my phone. I don't get on it. I don't try to fuck with it because it's just what I've realized is that it's just a bunch of negativity, a bunch of fake people trying to post for their happiness, and it's not really them happy, and people just they just try to flex, I feel like, all the time, and then also like the media just blowing up everything. It allows me to form my own opinion about everything. I don't really have an opinion about things I don't really know about nor care about because I don't have it in my face. And it allows me to, think clear. I don't use social media as a distraction anymore. It's more like a tool. I download Instagram to post stuff to my business stuff. I download Facebook to post things to my Facebook, on my business end. I don't really use it personally. And like when I do end up like going down a loophole when I get on like Facebook to post something to like our Facebook page, which you go follow in the link below, and I go on and I check my news feed and I just see like I have two types of friends, people who go Black Lives Matter, and I have friends who go All Lives Matter, and then they just start clashing. I'm just like, oh my God.
And you feel like you gotta pick a side or something?
Yeah, and it feels like I gotta pick a side. I'm like, I click and I'm out the browser and I'm back to doing what I'm doing. Because I'm like, I'm not, I think social media is good in the fact that if you use it for good, it can be really bad and tear people apart if you use it for personal gain. And I think that's not something you should do. And personal gain as in like, you're just trying to fucking find someone who has opposite views on you and just wants to argue them. And I think that's just bullshit and it's annoying. Like if someone is posting something and you get offended by it and you have the urge to, type on that person's thing, why are you typing on that person's thing? Why are you putting yourself in a situation where it's going to cause an argument and it's going to make you more mad? And I get like people nowadays have a dopamine relationship with toxicity, and I just think it's very unattractive in the sense of if you find arguing with somebody a dopamine increase in your body and it makes you feel good, I don't know how to help that person realize that that's not a healthy way to find a dopamine. You know what I'm saying here? Does that make sense?
So you telling me they get satisfaction by like arguing with people?
Yes. Yeah. It's like they get an urge, like it makes them feel good. It's like caffeine, and it's gonna gives you a.
So basically, they're trying to prove their point right or something. Is
that and that's just the arguing. The arguing is really what gets them. Like they're like, ooh, I can't wait to type this next thing out. I already know exactly what I'm gonna type before the same person types it. I'm just gonna wait for them to reply and I'm gonna press enter. And it's like back and forth. It's a nonsense back and forth.
So in the end, they should just join the debate team.
In the end, they just get along, and like if you don't like something, don't comment on it. The debate team, I mean, sure. I mean, that's a.
I mean, they like to argue.
I mean,
that's
yeah.
a solution right
if
there.
you want to argue for good, but most of the time, these people don't argue for good. They argue to literally just get a reaction from somebody.
Argue just to be argued.
Yeah, like you have a lawyer who argues against like causes, and then you have Karen who argues about the fact that
she didn't get her way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and it's just annoying. It's irritating, and I hate going on social media to see that. Instagram is less. But Instagram is filled with a bunch of poachers, and like weirdos and people who think their lives are better than everybody else's. And I just,
Well, people use Instagram to post to highlight. It's basically a highlight reel. That's all it is.
yeah, I get it. But like, I don't understand why, Betty wants to just post a selfie and just tag what emojis in her description and just get offended when some poacher comes on there and starts talking to a weird. And it's just like, you fucking, I don't see what happened here, man. Like, why are you getting offended? You literally put wet emojis in your description. I don't know what happened. And Twitter's fucking another.
Oh yeah,
like,
Twitter's just, they gave everyone a voice. They gave I gave everyone a voice, which is like a good thing, but also the bad thing because
Yeah.
gave the wrong people a voice too.
yeah, exactly.
And like we overexposed the wrong people with voices too.
Yeah, it's. I found the solve for it is delete every social media. Only need it when you need it. I don't need social media to live. I don't need controversy. I don't need all this. That's why I just kind of try to produce good in the world. Honestly. I mean, obviously before this, I did the Mindful Mondays on Facebook, but that required me to have Facebook and also like go on there where controversy was. So now having this podcast is a separate. You have to go to a separate site altogether, which creates a different kind of feeling when you go to that, and it allows people to just listen into this podcast. And hopefully, we made people change the way they think after this podcast. I would like for them to realize that like you don't need to post, controversial topics.
Every day.
Yeah, you don't have to post every day. Yes, you have a voice, but it's very small. Okay, and like you can get big, but people who get big that way usually do the wrong things. Media is not going to support you for supporting something. Media is going to support you in the fact of busting you out in front of everybody for something controversial that you said towards a topic that is completely different. So, like, for example, media just wants to blare out all the bad stuff, never the good stuff. So if you're trying to produce something good, you're not really going to grow as much as someone producing something bad. Because it's going to get a lot of action, a lot of like, ooh, ahs. And, like for this podcast, it's going to take a while for us to actually grow and get an audience just because we're not trying to put toxicity out into the world. We're trying to put good. And that's okay with me. This allows me and you to have a one-on-one time, allows people to view us and watch and kind of carry along, post in the comments, have an interaction with us. I like that. I'm not here for the money. I don't care a fuck about the money. I'm here for like human interaction. I like having people around. I like having you around, Jeremy, and having you have this podcast with me helps me in the fact of I get to spend more time with other people and also produce what I feel and what you feel inside one podcast. Like obviously we don't agree on everything. And we haven't gotten to those topics yet, but there will be times where it gets heated, and I'm okay with that because I know I have trust in this friendship that we're going to fall back onto it and be like, hey, that was a good podcast. That was very good. And people are going to like that shit too. And that's what the whole world's about. Like if we can have all right, so we have to probably do 2 sections of this. I think James' camera only has a half-hour recording time on it.
We're not even at 30 minutes yet.
I know. I don't know what happened. So yeah, this is coming back. I don't know if you guys heard any of that, but we're basically just talking about social media and how it has a really bad view on people's opinions, and it's not really a good place to get information from. It's something I agree on. I don't think social media is a good place to be on all the time because of the toxicity and just the childish arguing back and forth between adults. I don't really think it's a good idea. What do you think on it, Jeremy?
I think it's true too.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
I don't. Do you get on Facebook often?
Nah.
No. What do you get on the most?
Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I don't really like Snapchat stories are different. Like that's how I really get my news. I just kind of read it. I take everything with a grain of salt because it's also opinion based. But I mean, if I want to know something more about a topic, I'll do research on it. But 9 times out of 10, I don't really care for the topic. Like I don't most of the time. I have too much going on in my life. If it doesn't really affect me, I don't really care. And I think that's not how a lot of people think. I think if it's happening, everyone needs to care about it. I mean, that's only true if it's affecting you. If it's not affecting you, you have an option here to go along with the cause if you feel it's good, or if you don't feel it's good, just sit back and just wait it out. Or I don't think people just argue all the time, just keyboard warriors back and forth.
Keyboard warriors.
I just honestly, it's just every time I go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's just people just annihilating each other. That I know for a fact they wouldn't say to each other's face. I know for a fact.
That's facts.
No one has the balls to say what they're saying on these social medias to someone's face. They're just too scared. And it's just, if you wouldn't say it in real life, don't say it on social media. But no one cares. No
No
one.
one cares because they know they're behind, a screen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're behind a screen and they don't.
like, and you probably get away with it if they live somewhere else, like
Yeah, if you're like coming from
Guatemala.
Yeah, if you're from Ohio and you make a post and someone from Guatemala calls you a fucking idiot, you're not gonna do anything about it because they live in Guatemala. What's the chance you seeing them from Guatemala?
Best thing to go online, like I don't know, like online, like gaming online. That's a whole different story.
Oh God, dude, I don't even want to talk about gaming
Story.
online. Gaming online is fuck that. No, that's not a good spot to be. Especially Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. Have you ever been in one of those?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What was those 2010 lobbies?
Yeah, 2010 lobbies, dude. Oh man, if you guys had
Times
never,
were different back then.
yeah, if you guys never
Racial
played,
slurs were out.
if you guys never played like a Call of Duty game before, just know that what's going on Facebook and Twitter right now is like 3% of what happens in those lobbies.
yeah, good luck trying to get help in those.
Yeah, you ain't getting help
That's
in
where all
those.
people
No.
release their inner Karen.
No, for sure. Let's see. So today's podcast is probably going to be a little short just because, Jeremy and I have some errands that we have to take care of in the real world. But as always, we do appreciate you guys stopping by. If you guys stayed this long, I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below if you stayed this long because,
It's going to be kind of weird editing this video because of that little short
yeah.
intermission. But yeah,
And
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're really sorry about that. If it's a lot, we're really sorry. We'll definitely try to figure out the camera settings to see if you can go past 30 minutes. So some of them you can't, but you can bypass it. But we'll see. The quality is better. I think this is a better platform to watch on. If you are watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on like Spotify, a podcast, or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, whatever you're listening to, obviously you won't get the cut, which is cool. But if you're watching on YouTube, unfortunately you will get that cut. If you missed anything, you can go listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Music. I think we're on 6 platforms right now. So if you have a podcast app you like, just look us up as on Better As You Go on whatever podcast app you're listening to, and hopefully you can find us. If it was a lot we skipped, which I don't think it was a lot we skipped, it probably was about
I'd say about a minute.
About a minute or so. I mean, it was during the heated debate. So I mean, if you want to go back and listen to it, feel free to welcome. I hope you guys like this free podcast that we're offering you guys. We're not making money off this. We're just 2 guys sitting at a table talking about whatever we talk about, and then you guys are listening, and we really appreciate just the few listeners we have. We really appreciate. I didn't even think we were gonna have any listeners, to be honest. But I mean, so they're gonna wrap this up. Anything you want to say, Jeremy, to them? No. Dang, he don't like you guys, he said. You guys can see my dog right now. But, all right, so, if you guys can smash that like button. If you like videos like this, if you do like the like button, it will add more videos like this to your YouTube page just because of the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe with the post notifications on to get the latest update on when we post. We post every Saturday at noon. But, as our lives go on, it might change. So if you guys post that notification bell, you'll get the notification no matter what time we post that, which is a fucking great feature by YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Music, Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, sorry, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and then we will have links to our YouTube in the description if you guys want to check that out also. So I'll catch you guys later. My name is Wesley Jude,
I'm Jeremy Pollard.
and we will catch you guys next time. Peace out.